Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think we've got a very great facility for the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center, but I think the TSA, frankly, is not utilizing it to the full potential, certainly not to the potential that would be helpful. But how long, on an average, does a new hire have to wait before they begin training at the TSA Academy?
Well, I've got good news to report on that. So as you know, that academy stood up for the first time ever on January 1st of this year. So this is new for us, and we are pushing now 8 concurrent classes, about 200 officers a week. It takes about 4 months to onboard somebody new, and we typically bring them on board, and they have to get their security background checks and the like, and then we get them right into a training class shortly after that. So we're actually seeing the ability to move people right in, and we're scheduling.
So 4 months is the average wait?
It's on average 4 to 5 months, but during that time you're going through the background checks and the like to determine that they're fit for hiring.
So how many? What percentage of TSO go through FLETC?
Well, now it's we're doing
10%.
No. Now we're putting 100% of our new hires through FLETC. It used to be the case that we trained, at various places on the job around the country. We are going to make a couple of exceptions because of the need to get some more officers out in front of the summer travel season. So we're taking the FLETC curriculum and we're doing it locally in a couple of key locations. But we are.
Is that local training as effective as the FLETC training?
We're using the same FLETC.
I know the correct curriculum, but is it as effective?
Well, from my opinion, it's not ideal. I would like to do everything. If we're building out capacity, and FLETC's been working with us to allow.
How many airports have requested the authorization to utilize local training?
I think I've got 2 airports right now that have asked the authorization.
2, okay. Have any been denied?
What we've said is that we will do it on an as-needed basis. We aren't currently doing any local training classes because we've been working with FLETC to increase the class offerings there. So
is there a clear policy to determine the as-need basis?
There is a clear policy, yes, sir.
Okay, could you submit that to us?
Yes, sir.
And let us have a copy of that. In regard to the bonuses, I'd like to go back and ask a couple of questions regarding Mr. Hogan. You're aware that the $90,000 in bonuses were broken up in increments of $10,000 each. Could you explain why the agency did it this way, why it was broken out that way?
Well, as I understand it, and as you know, that was done under previous leadership. But as I understand it, it was because the maximum amount of allowable at any given bonus was $10,000. Okay.
So is this some sort of scheme to give him? Well, could you explain smurfing?
I'm sorry, say again?
Smurfing?
Smurfing? I am not familiar with the term.
Okay. So if there's $90,000 broken up in $10,000 increments, is that the type of thing that would need approval from DHS?
It does now. I will tell you that there's nothing in my experience that finds that justifiable. It's why I stopped the practice. It doesn't matter if it didn't violate policy.
All right, so why do you say that? Why is that not justifiable? What does that appear to be to you?
It just doesn't pass the front page test for me.
Looks like something's being hidden.
I just don't like it. I don't think it's right, and I stopped that practice. And I make sure now that all of our bonuses have to be approved at the department level, and I have severely restricted them within TSA.
Mr. Roth, I'd really like to hear your comments on all of this.
As we looked at our report, I mean, it was clearly an attempt to circumvent the departmental regulations on approval. So smurfing is breaking up specific financial transactions to something below the reporting requirement, which is what happened here.
Right.
The individual responsible for that, by the time that we did our investigation, was no longer employed at TSA. And the regulations that existed at the time were so loose that it was technically permissible, even though clearly the intent was, I think, wrong.
So the intent is to hide?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what smurfing is, and I appreciate you bringing that. Is there anything currently preventing the agency, back to you, Admiral, from disguising these bonuses in forms of payments, be it relocation or any other method where it's really just a disguise for bonuses?
Yes, I've expressly prohibited it, and I made that very clear in policy. I'm happy to provide that policy for the committee's record, and I require oversight from the department before any bonus can be awarded to a senior
I
executive.
would like to have that policy submitted. So you are saying, your testimony here is that there is no disguise taking place?
Not under my leadership, and I've made clear that we put that directly into policy, and I've made sure that no single individual can approve a bonus award for a senior executive without oversight, and it has to be approved by the department. I've not even given myself the authority to make the final approval. It goes to the department for oversight.
Okay, thank you.